Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, weatherweb.net, and it is Sunday, the 13th of April. Thanks again for watching. It looks as if Europe's going to go into an unsettled, cooler end to April. More on that in just a second. After a quick whiz through the charts of the week, this is today, ridge of high pressure building in from the Atlantic. We've got fronts coming through Scotland, bringing some outbreaks of rain here. Most places, though, generally dry and should be fine. Pretty cool on western coast, but warm in the east and south. Still got that high pressure hanging around through Monday, bringing a fair day. Fine again into Tuesday too, the high there slipping away off towards the east. And for Wednesday, we're looking dry as well, with high pressure to the east, but this weak cold front coming into the northwest, bringing a few spots of rain. Thursday's looking largely dry, just a few showers coming down through Scotland and northern England, but still the high trying to build back in. And on Friday, high pressure in control as well, with more sunshine to come. Now, those of you more observant may have noticed these little lows cropping up across central parts of Europe. That's a main part of our story over the coming weeks. A total rainfall for the coming week, this is to the end of next Sunday, looking something like this. You can see virtually dry across many southern and eastern parts of the country. Most of the rainfall affecting northwestern parts of Scotland, 40 millimetres plus across the hills here, but generally it's low rainfall totals everywhere, with the high pressure building in. And this is how the GFS ensemble sees it. This is for the next 5 days. Rainfall taking us to the end of Thursday. And again, you see here most of it up towards the northwest of Scotland, very little elsewhere. The next 5-day period from next Friday through until the end of, when would it be? Oh, it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Through to the end of Tuesday shows very little rainfall once again. And similar too for the final 11 to 15 days. So this is the final part of the period, taking us up to the end of the 27th of April. And again, you see very low rainfall totals on there. Don't forget the GFS ensemble overplays it anyway, so these are real low figures. Now, low rainfall figures for the UK, but things are going to change across Europe. This is the CFS, the prediction for week 1, taking us up to Thursday. And you see the higher than normal heights here, look, across southern parts of the UK. Jet stream blowing through here, and unsettled conditions kept away to the north. This is interesting, though. This green here is a trough down in the Atlantic. Now, have a look at week 2, which looks like this, from the 19th to the 25th. We've got the split taking place in the ridge off the eastern coast of the States in the Atlantic, but a trough is going to be down through the Atlantic like so, with the ridge across the eastern parts of Europe. That trough is very, very telling, and the reason for that is, look how the trough itself then extends into the west of Spain, coming down into the western Mediterranean here, indicating a breakaway trough down here. And I'm afraid it's just not looking great over Easter, or certainly into the Easter week down in the western Med. These are the rainfall anomalies from the CFS, and yeah, you'll notice week 1 looked drier than normal conditions across much of Europe. Week 2, though, showing wetter than normal conditions across Spain and across much of the Mediterranean there. Drier conditions across the northern half of Europe. And as for temperatures, well, above normal look for week 1, but also above normal into week 2. And then week 3 from the 26th of April through to the 2nd of May, showing the high to the east, higher highs out towards the west. But again, this trough here, look, across much of Western Europe, bringing those unsettled conditions. And again, into week 4, we're looking like this, with the high out towards the west region here, and a trough down through much of Europe. So it could be that Europe's in for quite a wet end to April and start to May. If we take a look at the anomalies, weeks 3 and week 4. This is rainfall, and again, look, you see figures around or just above normal across much of Western Europe in week 3. Week 4 showing us near normal totals as well. Temperatures into week 3, well, it's largely above normal across much of Central and Eastern Europe where the high is, but look at Spain there, sitting below normal. And into week 4, pretty chilly across much of Central and Western Europe. Now, the MGO also reveals a bit of information about what's going on here. The red and the multicolours from here onwards are what we're interested in. You notice how it comes through phase 4, 5, 6 and 7. leaving phase 4 into 5 at the end of this week, then leaving phase 5 into 6 at the end of next week. Now, in terms of those phases, it's 4 and 5 and 6 that we're interested in. And if I show you what the average patterns are like in these phases, this is phase 4, which is what we're about to go into. And just look at that huge anomaly there, that huge trough across central and western parts of Europe, which is exactly what we're seeing now. Look, higher than normal heights to the west and to the east, lower than normal across the UK. A very strong indication that that's what we're going to go into with that significant trough, and that's what the ECMWF is headed for as well. Phase 5 looking like that, with the ridge building back in, so an indication of better conditions, but look, with a trough across Eastern Europe. And then phase 6 brings us back into this cut-off trough condition across the western parts of the Atlantic. Higher pressure at higher than normal heights out towards the east trough in the eastern Mediterranean. And what that then does is it brings unsettled conditions again to much of Western Europe. So add that to the ECMWF long ranges, add it to the GFS long ranges, add it to the CFS and the Japanese, which all go for the trough in Europe. And I think we've got to say that it looks like there's some unsettled conditions on their way. Interestingly though, the UK may get away with it for this week, but after that it looks as if things do become much more unsettled, and over a big area of Europe as well. Anyway, of course, we'll keep you informed as to what happens through the course of this week. For now, don't forget that we're kept completely free of charge by you keep coming back and using the site, and that means that we can put more adverts in front of you, which means that we generate more revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thanks for doing that, and whatever you're doing, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.